as far as the topics go, I like to do this at the beginning of every month. February is no different. Let's talk about the games that are coming out this month. We're running a little long, so I don't want this topic to go on too long, but I'm going to run you guys quickly through the games that I found that are the most important coming out this month. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games on this list. I'll go in order of their release date. We can talk a little bit about them, but let's just try to get through the list. First
Jared,
off,
real quick, did we mention Kingdom Hearts last month?
No, I didn't put that on the list because I'm only putting new releases, so I'm not putting early access, or I'm not putting HD remixes or remasters or anything like that. I only want to focus on like the new titles that are coming out.
A little bit of new content in Kingdom Hearts 2.8, so I want to give her a shout out.
Technicality.
Yeah.
I want to give it a shout out.
So the releases here, Alwa's Awakening, which is the game I talked about earlier. It's a 2D pixel art Metroidvania game. It came out the day of recording, February 2nd. It's only on PC. It's by a Swedish developer, Elden Pixels. It's their first game. It's really good. I like it so far. I'm really enjoying it. I've actually reached out to them to see if they're planning on bringing this to console or handheld. I personally think this thing could have a crazy good life on the Vita or the Switch. It's a really good game. It's fun. If you love Metroidvania, if you love NES games, you'll probably like this a lot. The artistic style, and it's solid. They definitely hit that out of the park. The second title here, we've talked about this multiple times during the show. Nioh comes out February 7th. This is on PS4. A lot of people, it's reviews. The embargo has lifted. A lot of people are talking about it. It's getting very good reviews. It's critically well received so far. A lot of people are talking about it as Ninja Gaiden meets Dark Souls. If you like the speed of Bloodborne, a lot of people are saying this is even faster than Bloodborne. So if you like Dark Souls but you want it a little bit speedier, if you like Bloodborne, you want a little bit speedier, it looks like a really good game. It's developed by Team Ninja. It was originally published by Koei Tecmo. Now it's published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. This game looks like I think this will meet or exceed sales expectations. I don't think their sales expectations are too high. A lot of people don't understand that this game has been in development for a while. I believe 9 years. But it's not the Final Fantasies or the Last Guardian. Like, this is kind of been quiet. It's been hush-hush that it's been in development for so long. But, yeah, excited to see that game come out. Excited to see what you think of it, Jordan. And, Dom, if you ever come around to picking it up, I'm excited to see what you guys think about it.
Can't wait.
Next up is a really interesting one. This game's called Phoning Home. It comes out on PC February 7th. It's an exploration survival game. And you basically control these two robots. They kind of look like WALL-E inspired, and you're on an alien planet. It's by a German dev named Ion Lands, and I was looking at a lot of the screenshots and stuff. The game looks beautiful. And a lot of exploration games, they can look really beautiful because there's not a whole lot of mechanics going into the game or stuff like that. Like, all you need to do is kind of just run the world. There's not a lot of interaction that takes place, like physical interaction. A lot of it's like visual cues and stuff like that. And it's just really cool to see this like overgrown alien planet being explored by these two little robots and them trying to figure out how to survive and how to move on and stuff like that. And it seems like they're going to have some cool little personalities. So that looks like a game to watch out for. That would be a really cool game to hit console as well. So hopefully, like Dear Esther and other walking simulators and exploration games have made their way to console eventually. Hopefully it does too. Next up, this is probably, I would say, the second biggest release of the month. Second or third, depending on how you look at it. For Honor, Ubisoft's hack and slash action game that features three unique, the Vikings, the Samurais, and the Knights. They're actually holding an open beta the week that this is posting. So I believe it's the 3rd through the 5th, or maybe it's the following weekend, which is a really interesting tactic considering it's a multiplayer-centric game. It has a single-player component. Most people are going to be playing this for the multiplayer. It's really interesting and bold to have them do a open beta a week or two before release. It's kind of like, here, play our game. We know you'll like it. There have been closed betas. I participated in both of them. I liked it. It's not a game I'm willing to pay $60 for at launch just because I don't have that type of expendable income. If I was in a more fortunate situation, I might consider picking it up, but as it sits, it's not something that I can kind of justify spending $60 at for release for my my situation. But it's solid gameplay. It's built really well. The fact that Ubisoft came out and announced that all of the DLC for it's going to be free is huge. The biggest problem with multiplayer games is the moment you introduce paid DLC, you segment your user base. So them saying that all the DLC will be free is really huge. I know you two were like not excited for Honor, but you were intrigued by it. I know neither of you ever really probably thought about buying it, but Are you guys interested to see how this does, like, critically? I am. It seems.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up when it's cheap. You know, I like some samurais, some Vikings. You know, I like some warriors. I like some knights and armors and stuff. You know, I like fighting and combat and sword fighting, all that stuff.
The best part about this game is when you download the beta and you go into multiplayer, before you can even play like with your friends, you get put into a 1v1 match against a random person. It's awesome. It's like, well, cool. Here's the stakes. It's a best of 5 rounds. You gotta try to beat this guy. And oh, it's so good.
See, that's my thing that could really kind of get me into For Honor is, you guys know I love some good sword fighting, especially when it comes to combat, and also Nioh has a lot to do with this. You can like change your stances and stuff. To change how you come at combat, and so I really like games with nuanced sword fighting, and both of these games have that. So that's something that could hook me on Nioh.
I think this game will review very well from a multiplayer aspect. The single player might get some knocks for it probably not being robust or the story not being good. That's fine. I think this will critically do better than people anticipate. I don't know if this will sell well. Hopefully it does for Ubisoft. You never know. People tend to forget that The Division was one of the top 5 selling games last year. I believe it was number 3 for the year, which people don't even kind of realize that. Division sold very well. So Ubisoft is good at, marketing their games and getting them to sell. So we'll see what happens there. The next release is Deformers. This is February 14th. This is a physics-based arena brawler by Ready at Dawn, the guys who did Order 1886. This is a game being published by Game Trust, which is GameStop's publishing company, which they can use some positive PR considering the recent events of the news of them essentially just making their employees lie to customers. The interesting thing about Deformers, when you see games
Jared,
like this...
now, I got to stop you right there. I think the PC term is actually handicappers.
Yeah, I guess.
Shoot, I didn't even...
Man.
Deformers is not politically correct.
Yeah. Well, it's because the creatures are deforming, yeah. But so the interesting thing with these smaller games is you always anticipate, are they going to kind of explore the price range and stuff like that? And I was like, this is probably going to be like a $40 game, maybe $60. Who knows how crazy they're getting with it. I know it's there's not a whole lot of content there, but you never know, right? A game's actually only going to sell for $30, which is interesting. For some people, that might still be a little high. You might have to hit that $20 range after a couple of months. But
yeah, it looks like a $20 game.
It releasing at $30 is better than what I expected. Maybe it's not the sweet spot, but I was anticipating 40, so that was pretty interesting. We'll see how that game does. It looks really cool. I think that game will do tremendously well if it ends up being a PlayStation. What is it called? Not Games with Gold. What is the PlayStation version?
PS Plus?
Yeah, PS Plus. I was brain farting. I think this game could do exceptionally well if it's a PS Plus or Games with Gold game where people can get their hands on it for free. We'll see how it does. I'm interested in it. I'm never going to buy it, but if it was a Games with Gold game, I would immediately download it and check it out. So, interesting there. Next up, Sniper Elite 4. This comes out February 14th. This is a third-person tactical shooter stealth game. This game series is known for its slow-mo impact shots where you see a sniper take a shot, it enters somebody, it goes into like X-ray mode, and you see their like bones rip apart and stuff like that. It's by Rebellion Developments. This seems like they want this game to be bigger than the series has been. I think, I think they're kind of going to showcase this game for through marketing and stuff. They want this to be a bigger deal than the Sniper Elite series has been. So I think this is the one they're going to try to push. They're going to get in streamers' hands. They're going to get in tastemakers' hands and try to do something with it. Have you guys have never played a Sniper Elite game, right? Because I haven't either.
No, but fun fact about Sniper Elite, I actually thought that Sniper Ghost Warrior was a spin-off of Sniper Elite.
It's almost as if they have very similar names that are kind of generic.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, this is the Sniper Elite series.
Yeah. This
is the Sniper Ghost Warrior series.
And they could have, Ghost Elite and Warrior Elite. Yeah, it's really weird. It's so weird that their games come out usually around, because Sniper Ghost Warrior comes out in April, so it's weird that their games even release in the same year. It's really weird. Yeah. Next up, earlier I said, For Honor was one of the big releases for the month. This is number 2 or number 3, depending on how you see it. Halo Wars 2 comes out February 21st. Xbox One, PC, cross-play, cross-buy as well. It's an RTS. If you're familiar with the first Halo Wars, it's by 343 and Creative Assembly. There's some weird conjecture going on. People feel that this is like a game that doesn't hit either market. The like console gamers don't like RTSs, and PC gamers have too many RTSs that they won't get involved in this. I think they're not seeing the opposite end of this argument, showing that console gamers don't really get RTSs. The last RTS was Halo Wars and Civilization Revolution, and gamers actually like those games quite a bit, console gamers. So I think this is going to do pretty well on console, better than people expect. Also, on the PC side of it, a lot of RTSs like StarCraft are kind of like crazy barriers of entry. It's kind of like League of Legends. Like, people want to check it out, but it seems kind of hardcore, like Dota 2, you know? And Halo Wars 2 is familiar to people who know Halo, where they can get involved in an RTS that they're familiar with, you know, and get better at it. I think RTSs are kind of intimidating, and Halo Wars 2 for a lot of PC players might be their best entry point, you know, because it isn't seen as like the hardcore RTS, you know, it's more of an arcadey RTS. So I think that it's going to sell pretty well, hopefully, because I think it's cool to see them, like, they've done this before, obviously, with Halo Wars, but I think Microsoft could do a lot more with the Halo brand and doing spin-offs in different kinds of genres of games, you know? So I think Halo Wars 2 is cool. Hopefully we see some other games in the Halo franchise that are different. Next up, Night in the Woods. So this is a PC, PS4 game. This was a Kickstarter game. They wanted $50K initially. They received over 210,000. It reached $50K in a little over a day, 26 hours. So it's a very art-driven, anthropomorphic adventure game. From what I read of the short description, you're this like cat wolf looking character guy, and you're basically a college dropout, and you come back to your hometown, and it's all about you coming back to your hometown and talking to people that you haven't seen in a long time. And then the reason it's called Night in the Woods is because there's something mysterious in the woods that you kind of encounter. There's a lot of like panoramic shots, and there's a lot of parallaxing environments, which are some of my favorite things in 2D games. I love when people can make their foreground and background parallax. I think that's really cool. It looks really awesome. This might be a game I pick up. It's only gonna be like $15 at launch. I love like super artistic, like story-driven games, so I'm super excited for this one. If you have any interest in it, definitely just look up Night in the Woods. Next up, the console release of LEGO Worlds. This is essentially Minecraft with LEGO. It's by TT Games. It looks cool. I don't know how well it'll sell because most people already own Minecraft, and I don't know if people are going to be... It'll sell decent, but I don't know if it's going to sell as great as people anticipate it to. It looks cool. I mean, I like LEGO, but Minecraft kind of already has its foot planted in the video game realm with that, which is funny because when Minecraft released, they're like, oh, it's a Lego video game, and now Lego's trying to do what Minecraft did, you know? So it's funny how they copied each other. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this does. If it's probably going to release at 60, which I think could hurt it a lot. I think a lot of people see these survival crafting games and they think, $15 to $30 at most. So it's going to be interesting to see where this price point is when it initially releases. I don't know what it was in early access on Steam, what the price point was, but we'll see. And lastly,
now,
the biggest...
Jared, on LEGO Worlds, you're saying, Minecraft already has the foothold on the building thing for video games. However, I would like to point out, old Spyro and his buddies, the Skylanders, aren't doing so hot, while LEGO Dimensions seems to have come in and kind of taken over that Toys to Life deal they got going on.
Yeah, but Imaginators never sold what Minecraft has. Minecraft's broken almost every record. Also, the beauty of Minecraft is it's so simplistic. A lot of this stuff, like if you look at the stuff for LEGO Worlds, it looks a little complicated when your core audience is going to be kids. I think that they're going to look at LEGO and they're going to be like, I want to go, why? I want to go play Minecraft, I don't think it will sell bad, but I don't see this doing the gangbusters they anticipate it doing. And I could be wrong about that. We'll see. Maybe. But lastly, the biggest release for this month, Horizon Zero Dawn, comes out at the end of the month, February 28th. It's an open world action RPG. It's had very promising preview events. It's from Guerrilla Games, the Killzone guys. I think...
Jared, that game comes out March 1st.
I thought it comes out February 28th.
No, it is March 1st, 2017.
Horizon?
Yeah, I thought it was February 28th.
That's February, yeah.
Yeah, it's February 28th.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
In human years.
I looked up the release date before we started recording. It comes out February 28th. It's listed everywhere as February 28th.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are talking about they don't want to buy it and then a couple of days later, less than a week, be playing Zelda. So, yeah, it comes out February 28th. You're this girl, Alloy. She's a kind of cave woman-esque thing.
Aloy.
Is it Aloy?
Yeah, Aloy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, however you say it. You're basically in this world with robotic dinosaurs after the fall of civilization. They've stated it's 1,000 years in the future from where we currently sit. It's interesting. The ending twist of this game was leaked on NeoGAF, and because I was never going to play this game, I actually went through and read it. Who knows if it's real or not, but I'll say that the ending is pretty interesting.
I don't even want to know what your opinion. I don't even want to know what your opinion on this possible fake-ass spoiler is, Jared.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to know either.
I won't say anything. But this game looks really cool.
There you go.
You're a day one, right, Jordan? And you're possibly day one?
Yes, I am.
Dom?
I am day one.
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing it. Let's be honest. Can't help myself.
Yeah, actually, so Horizon and Mass Effect, and I was going to be day one on Nioh, but PlayStation Store wouldn't let me pre-order it for some reason, so I'm probably just going to wait until that's out. And then Persona, and those are maybe my only day one games this year.
Oh, nice. Prey and Mass Effect are my definitive day ones. So
yeah, I'm gonna wait on Prey, but definitely Mass Effect.
Prey is one that come November is gonna be on sale for $30.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that game looks so cool though. It's kind of how you
does.
guys felt with Dishonored 2, but I just couldn't. I was not interested in Dishonored 2 at all. So I'm super stoked for Prey.